C'est en Palestine que la bière trouve ses origines il y a environ 10 000 ans.
It is in Palestine that beer came from about 10,000 years ago. Barley bread digested in water was this beverage. Later in Egypt, during Ramesses II dynasty, appear real state breweries in this barley wine serves also as offerings to the gods. The beer gradually comes to Europe, and the Romans, although large consumer of wine, also grew barley in the northern regions less suited to the vine. It is also at this time that our ancestors, the Gauls, produced the Savoy's beer. They are at the origin of the wood barrels, which gradually replaced the amphora. During the decline of the Roman Empire, the monks recovered the manufacturing methods and developed breweries in most of the abbeys. At the end of the 18th century, during the French Revolution, many monasteries and abbeys are destroyed. But thanks to Napoleon, in the field of a general launch of the economy, the brewing activities start again.
Gayant Brewery was founded in 1919. Here, we conceive a beer as we create a good wine. The craft methods remain a tradition and quality excels quantity. The originality, the flavor, the fineness of a beer constitute all the alchemy a brewer master gets from ancestral formulas.
La mise au point d'une bière, c'est en fait l'équilibre entre les grands goûts.
The development of a beer depends on the balance between the great tastes which marry. The tastes come from the raw material of cereals, hops and its bitterness, spices or aromas that can be added. Therefore, it is advised not to push too much the different tastes to keep this balance. If we want to produce a very bitter beer, we must not perfume it too much, otherwise the consumer will not find the right type of beer and the balance will not be good. Each grain provides different tastes. Wheat is a little more tart, barley, malt offer more flavor in the mouth. We dose different raw grain cereals such as rice, corn and wheat to get the desired balance.
Here at Gayant, brewing is produced as in the past, by decoction in these large copper tons. The barley malt is crushed to become flour and is mixed with water. This is what we call pasting. The resulting mixture is being heated to different temperatures for 3 hours. The enzymes in the malt then convert starches into sugars. These sugars will have the particularity to convert into alcohol later on. The mixture then descends in a tank equipped with a filtering bottom, and after 1 hour it is rinsed. Residues called dregs are extracted. These dregs are collected from the bottom of the tank because they have significant energy value. Very appreciated for the livestock feed, they are routed to the farms. The liquid, called wort, is collected in turn to this other boiler. The hop is added and the composition is brought to a boil for 1 hour. It is at this time that the beverage acquires its bitterness. The whole is now cooled, oxygenated and sent into these large tons kept at constant temperature. Yeasts are injected inside and the sugars contained in the must then transform into alcohol and carbon dioxide. It is the principle of fermentation. The operation lasts from 3 to 10 days, depending on the type of beer in preparation. When fermentation is completed, the tank temperature is cooled to 0 degrees. Yeasts fall to the bottom of the tank and are extracted. The beer is then centrifuged to reduce its workload in yeast before its final filtration. These yeasts are then stored and routed to farms for food for pigs. A few days to several weeks, depending on the type of preparation, the beer remains in this cellar at -1 degree. This is called a good keeping beer. Hence, it finds there all its delicacy. Beer needs to be assessed during its aging. It is from this moment that we need the contribution of the olfactory and tasting faculties of our collaborators. At last, filtration offers the beer its brightness, its color and its carbon dioxide content before final packaging.
Au XIVe et XVe siècle, il était
In the
conseillé
14th and 15th century, it was advisable to drink beer instead of water, which was often the vector of transmission of epidemics such as cholera and plague. Today, concerns are completely different, and unlike conventional wisdom, beer does not get you fatter. Diuretic, it makes easier the suppression of toxin. Beer contains no fat. It's even recommended in some diets. It is rich in minerals, in vitamins B1, B2 and many others. It strengthens the immune defenses. We could then call it the elixir of youth. But remember that all of this is a question of moderation.
Today, the health rules are more and more strict. It is inconceivable to propose a product of food consumption without stringent precautions. Also, packaging of a 5-liter drum is carried out under sterile atmosphere and pressurized to avoid any external bacterial introduction.
We are here in the laboratory where I am assisted by 2 collaborators who analyze the raw materials, the manufacturing products, as well as the finished goods. We analyze physical, chemical parameters such as pH, holding of the foam, density in sugar, alcohol, but also biological micro-settings linked to the check of pathogens for the product, in order to ensure the quality of your yeast.
It is here that the yeasts to fermentation of beer are kept. They will reproduce and multiply. This is what is called the propagation. All steps of the manufacturing process are therefore controlled and must obtain the approval of the laboratory. It is at this stage only that can begin the last step prior to shipment. Here in Gayant, 20 to 50,000 bottles per hour file off in the conditioning assembly lines. Pasteurization is an important stage for the good conservation of beer. For an hour and a half, the bottles go through this tunnel under a rain of 65 degrees. Colors, labels and counter-labels are carefully adjusted and sticked on the bottles. The identity of Goudal is taking place. To meet the requirements of their customers, the brewers of Gayant also pack the beer in metal boxes. So 20,000 boxes per hour can be processed on this assembly line. Cafes, hotels, restaurants require a specific packaging. A fully automated assembly line feeds not less than 200 barrels per hour, with a capacity of 20, 30 or 50 liters.
In the 14th century, the beer was ordered in Shakespeare language a good ale, which means a good beer. Today, Gayant's brewers wish to innovate. In association with the perfect control of the processes, they offer you the good ale among its 7 specialty beers.
The good ale, simply friendship to share.